Hey, what's up? So, you've probably noticed a fresh patch just landed for God of War Sons of Sparta. It's the latest update, labeled 1.006. The team put in some stability work for saves, tuned a few nastier bits of the pit challenge mode, and chased down a handful of progression and collectible bugs that were leaving people frustrated. First up, the save system. There were reports of save loss or rollback that could hit at the worst possible moment, and this patch implements additional stability measures intended to reduce how often that happens. That's the kind of thing you don't always notice when everything's working, but when it goes wrong, it's a massive headache. So any fix here is a big win for peace of mind. Next, the pit challenge mode got some attention. A few of the agonies were balanced down a bit so they feel fairer without being trivial. And the patch also addresses issues where enemies would either spawn in awkward places or not properly target you. You know, the kind of enemy behavior that turns an intense fight into a sloppy, unfair mess. Those spawn and aggro fixes should make runs feel cleaner and actually let skill shine instead of a game throwing junk at you. But the update isn't all difficulty math. There are some real quality of life and progression saves in here. Collectibles that could despawn if you left an area before picking them up have been fixed, which matters a lot for completionists who hate backtracking only to find something gone. Also, there was a specific bug where locations in the Lands of Laconia weren't contributing to the Search High and Low trophy. The patch corrects that and explicitly calls out that if you ran into that problem earlier, you can revisit those Lands of Laconia spots, for example, the one outside the Agoge in Sparta, to receive retroactive credit toward the side quest's completion. For anyone chasing trophies or completion, that retroactive credit line is a relief. There's even a delightfully odd little fix in the list. Attempting to pet a cat while it was leaving Cersei's chamber could lock player progression. Yep, a cat pet gone wrong. That specific soft lock has been patched, so you can go back to letting your curiosity about in-game felines dominate your priorities without fear of breaking the run. It's the tiny touches like this that make patches feel human. The devs are watching gameplay quirks and addressing the weird, specific moments players get stuck on. All of these changes point to the dev team being responsive to community reports and telemetry. The patch doesn't add new levels or gear, and it's not a sweeping rebalance of the entire game, but it's exactly what you want post-launch when you're trying to enjoy the experience without the frustration of lost progress or broken objectives. Fixing save stability, cleaning up enemy spawn logic, and making sure collectibles and trophy tracking work properly are the sorts of updates that quietly improve hundreds of individual play sessions. If you think about the player experience holistically, these are higher impact fixes than they might look on paper. A save rollback can undo an hour or more of progress and turn a relaxing evening into a rage session, and a trophy that doesn't register ruins completionist flow entirely. Meanwhile, the pit's agonies being tuned is important for the players who live for leaderboards or for the community that enjoys showcasing high-skill runs. So the patch becomes not just a list of technical fixes, it's a rebalancing of player confidence. You can play more boldly because the game is less likely to steal that progress from you, and you can challenge harder content knowing the spawn logic won't randomly gank your run. I'll also say this. Patches that fix very specific soft locks, like that cat petting corner case, tell you two things about the studio. One, they're paying attention to the weird, granular things players encounter. And two, they're willing to spend engineering time on oddball bugs that might not break dozens of runs, but absolutely break the right one. That level of detail work is what separates a polished, ongoing experience from a game that slowly grinds the community down with unresolved annoyances. Overall, this patch is short and sweet in scope, but meaningful for quality of life and stability. It's the kind of update that smooths the edges, makes tournament-like runs in the pit more satisfying, and helps collectors and trophy hunters actually get credit for the things they found. The game still feels like it's getting steady support, and these fixes should make your time in its world that much more dependable and enjoyable. So yeah, that's the rundown. Save stability tweaks, pit balance and spawn fixes, collectible/trophy tracking corrections, including retroactive credit for Lands of Laconia locations, and a handful of quirky softlock fixes. All in all, a tidy, practical update that aims to keep the experience feeling intact and fair for players who want to keep exploring, mastering, or just wandering around and petting cats without consequences.